King of the Road Productions proudly presents a Marsh Fest and Music episode of the Jim King of the TV show. Southeast Texas style. During the half hour, we'll preview next weekend's Marsh Fest in Winnie, Texas. Here's some previously unreleased video from years past.
How y'all doing out there? I don't know about a raffle, but I know one thing. I wonder if this girl will make me the happiest man in the world. Amanda, will you marry me, baby?
We'll feature the Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. We'll also wear the Southeast Texas debut of Tracy Lawrence's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. We'll check out the Soggy Bottom Saloon events calendar. And Frank Martin Gilligan will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches. King of the Road. Howdy and welcome to the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4 and the CW. I'm Jim King of the Road. Make plans to join me at Marsh Fest in Winnie, Texas on March 10th through the 12th. The live music lineup includes Kevin Fowler, George Dearborn, as well as Cajun and Tejano music. For complete details, visit marshfest.com. Be sure to take King's Country Internet Radio along for the ride. In less than 100 years, radio has come a long, long way. We've gone from this to this. Alexa, play King's Country on TuneIn.
King's Country from TuneIn.
And this. Now you can stream us everywhere. Stream King's Country Internet Radio on your PC, smart speaker, mobile device, or in your vehicle with your Bluetooth connection. King's Country is streaming worldwide on TuneIn, iTunes, Live 365, and at kingscountry.net. And stream the multi-award-winning and nationally recognized Jim King of the Radio show. Middays, Monday through Friday on King's Country at kingscountry.net. It does rule. Now ride shotgun with me to Winnie, Texas as we preview Marsh Fest 2022. We always cruise Cadillac style, as seen and heard on Southeast Texas TV and radio.
Extra large and turbocharged. It's the King of the Road show.
Oh, hi, to the guy.
One man has the power to take you behind the scenes. Jim King of the Road. Jim King of the Road.
Well, I love the sound of the rain on a tin roof on a hot summer night. Love to hear those hound dogs barking, howling at the full moonlight.
Winnie Area Chamber of Commerce presents Marsh Fest in honor of Trevor Lee Shashawn at Winnie Stoll Park in Winnie, Texas, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's 3 days of family fun, food, and live music, featuring Cajun artist Kevin Nakan and Gino De La Fosse on Thursday, and Kevin Fowler, George Dearborn, and Honky Tonk Jones on Friday. On Saturday, it's Category 6, Jacob Stelly, Los Cadets, Jake Bush, and Quinto Potter. Marsh Fest in Winnie, March 10th through the 12th at Winnie Stoll Park in memory of Trevor Lee Shashawn. Here's a little look in the rear view at past Marsh Fests in Winnie.
To carry on Trevor's name, he was a fantastic young man. I'm glad and happy for the time I got to spend with him, and we all miss him, but we want to honor his memory by raising some money and helping some kids in school.
My son, he was practicing on his duck calls every day after I told him we was going to do this, and then tragically in November of that year he passed away, and then the day after he passed away I called my board of directors and asked them would it be okay if we done this festival in Trevor's memory, and they jumped on board of the deal, and it just it's kind of a deal for my wife and I, just a way to continue on and remember our son.
Cherish every second that you have with your children. I know they aggravate the hell out of you sometimes. They do things that aggravate you in this, but I'm just telling y'all, speaking for me, and there's several other families that reach out to us in this horrible fraternity that we're now a member of. I challenge you to please cherish every second you have with your children. You don't understand what it is until it's gone, guys.
In honor of this very worthy event, here's some previously unreleased video from years past.
How y'all doing out there? I don't know about a raffle, But I know one thing. I wonder if this girl will make me the happiest man in the world. Amanda, will you marry me, baby?
What do y'all say? That's a pretty good thing right there. I think we tricked her. Y'all dance. Well, it was no accident, me finding you. Someone had a hand in it long before we ever knew. Now I just can't believe you're in my life. Heaven smiling down on me as I look at you tonight. I tip my hand to the keeper of the stars. He sure knew what he was doing when he joined these two hearts.
Still to come, we'll air the Southeast Texas debut of Tracy Lawrence's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge Music Clip of the Week from Nashville. We'll also feature the Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. And Frank Martin Gilligan will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches. We'll check out the Soggy Bottom Saloon events calendar. But next, we'll air more of our 2022 Marsh Fest preview.
You're cruising in the King's Caddy.
King of the road.
Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas is celebrating 60 years in business. Where have you been? Bradley's Collision Center is an award-winning shop serving all of Southeast Texas since 1962. And it has been family-owned and operated by the Bradley family of Port Neches since the very beginning. Each and every one of their customers are treated like friends and family while receiving expert service. Bradley's Collision Center, 2639 Knoll Street in Port Neches, Texas. Call them at 722-9391.
Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle has overcome a lot in the past few years with hurricanes, floods, a demolition, and the pandemic. But the Miller family has come back better than ever. Pine Tree Lodge, where the road ends and the fun begins, in the scenic setting of Taylor's Bayou. Dance to live music Thursday through Sunday, and stop in soon for fantastic atmosphere, friendly folks, and delicious food and drinks. Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle, Texas.
The concerts are back at Seven Oaks Event Garden in LaBelle, Texas, and you can catch David Starr on Saturday, March 12th, and many more through November. Live music at Seven Oaks is sponsored in part by Acadian Pools of Orange, Texas. Seven Oaks Event Garden in LaBelle, Texas. Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here. Winnie Area Chamber of Commerce presents Marsh Fest in honor of Trevor Lee Shashawn at Winnie Stoll Park in Winnie, Texas, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's 3 days of family fun, food, and live music. featuring Cajun artist Kevin Nakan and Gino De La Fosse on Thursday, and Kevin Fowler, George Dearborn, and Honky Tonk Jones on Friday. On Saturday, it's Category 6, Jacob Stelly, Los Cadets, Jake Bush, and Quinto Potter. Marsh Fest in Winnie, March 10th through the 12th at Winnie Stoll Park in memory of Trevor Lee Shashawn. As I just mentioned, George Dearborn and Brandon will be back at Marsh Fest on Friday, March 11th. Here's George and company from the last Marsh Fest in 2020.
All right, here's one called Keys in the Mailbox. It goes something like this right here. Instead, I see you in my dreams each night. Oh, the keys in the mailbox. Come on in. I'm sitting here wishing, dear, I had your love again. I'll never even ask you where you've been.
You've already gotten a lot of airplay off that EP that you put out with Tumbleweed. I think that got played all over the state.
You know, it did, and they actually put that one. I got calls and did interviews with people in Germany and England, and so it made it around. So I was surprised for that, but it was pretty cool. Yeah.
I can't wait for the new album, Old Brown Bottle, and it's so cool to be here at this festival, Marsh Fest. Great cause. Trevor Lee Shashawn, who a young kid who passed away, just 10 years old, 3 years ago. And so this is in his honor, and I think it's to raise money for scholarships too.
Yes, and I'm very proud to be a part of this. I mean, I've known the family for all of my life, so I mean, it's I'm very proud to be a part of it, and glad that I can help out. And like I said before, you know, I thank them for being behind me, and I'm behind them, and I believe in what they're doing, and it is for a good cause.
It's George Dearborn, of course. He was the house band at the Old Cutters after Tracy Byrd went on to Nashville and Mark Chestnut left, so you were next in line. And one day you woke up and said, I'm hanging up the guitar for 20 years.
Yeah, sometimes you get tired, you know. I guess that's what I did. I don't know. It's
a lot of work.
Tracy and I were visiting earlier, and you know, there was a lot of things back then I don't even remember. So it's it was good to come back, and we're having a lot of success with what we're doing right now, and glad to be back.
Are you having more fun now?
Yeah, because I remember things now. So I mean, you know, back then it was just blow and go, and but yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot better gigs now, and you know, going different places. You know, we're up in Fort Worth and Dallas, and in the Hill Country, and Waco, and Houston. So we're moving around a little bit.
And if it's too late for love and change your mind, then it's goodbye time.
Yeah, I'm a hell band, 100% Texan till I die.
Of course, George Dearborn and Brandon will be opening up for the one and only Kevin Fowler at this year's Marsh Fest in Winnie next weekend. Speaking of the devil, I'm having a Kevin Fowler fabulous flashback. Could get bumpy. Hold on tight.
King of the Road.
Here comes this week's Honky Tonk Texas fabulous flashback.
'Cause I'm a hell band, 100%. By God, you better know I am, baby, yeah.
You just wake up one day and decide to make the switch to country because of your roots, or how did that work out?
You know, it was kind of a slow evolution. You know, I was playing Dangerous Toys, and I started writing my own stuff, and I was doing more of a southern rock country kind of thing, a band called Thunderfoot, and then just kind of that was kind of a stepping stone, you know. And as I got more heavily into writing, that's what I was writing. you know, and all the bands out there, they're like, dude, you're a redneck. We can't play those songs.
Your songs have been recorded by Montgomery Gentry, our own Mark Chestnut from Beaumont, also Kershaw. Sammy Kershaw's recorded it.
George Jones cut Beer Bait and Ammo a couple years ago. So, man, we've been really lucky, man. I've had a lot of great cuts, and I'm kind of starting to do more of that now, you know, writing more songs and you know, shopping them, but I'm still writing. I write them all for me. If anybody else wants to record them, they're welcome to.
King of the Road.
That was this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. Since 2008, Honky Tonk Texas in Silsbee has been serving up non-stop fun for Southeast Texas with live music and delicious adult beverages. Oh, and be ready to dance your butt off to the best in local, regional, and national touring bands. Of course, Date Night is every Thursday. And don't forget about the Honky Tonk Grill. Visit them online at facebook.com/honkytonktx and at honkytonktexas.us. Honky Tonk Texas in Silsbee has been serving it all up since 2008. Where have you been?
The key to Terrell doing a job, they're not going to tear your yard up and they'll clean it up. You won't even know they're there, except for when they grind the stumps. They don't pick up the grindings. They let it down there because it's good fertilizer. Tree drive come out very, very well. We had 8 big trees to cut down. They had to fall in different directions. It didn't do no damage to the yard. It just come out very, very well.
You want some big old hot tails, you come on down here to Red Tails. They're as big as your hand. The crawfish are hot, the beer is cold, and the shrimp are as good as you're gonna get anywhere on the Gulf Coast. You tell Forrest Gump, you come on down here and I'll show you some shrimp.
When it comes to spicy boiled crawfish, shrimp, and ice-cold beer, one of the best-kept secrets in Southeast Texas is Red Tails. Hightail it down 124 in Finette to Red Tails. Dine in, to go, and catering available.
We love Red Tails.
5 Star Feeds, located at 580 Highway 365 in Port Arthur, Texas, has it all, and they are locally owned by Tina Bean. 5 Star has all the feed you could possibly need, as well as hardware, horse saddles and tack, name brand Western and workwear, and much more. 5 Star Feeds in Port Arthur, Texas.
King of the Road.
Howdy, and thanks again for watching the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4 and the CW. I'm Jim King of the Road. Still to come, Frank Martin Gilligan will be in the Royal Spotlight, brought to you by Bradley's Collision Center in Fort Neches, Texas. But here comes the Southeast Texas debut of Tracy Lawrence's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. Of course, the legendary Pine Tree Lodge is the area's one-stop destination for scenery, dining, dancing, and drinking. Their fantastic menu includes delicious dishes like the shrimp gumbo, the blackened tilapia, or the blackened red snapper. And Pine Tree Lodge is now offering a brunch menu from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays. They also feature fabulous live music Thursday through Sunday, fantastic food, delicious drinks, a king-size dance floor, and great service, and all in the scenic setting of Taylor's Bayou in LaBelle, Texas. Stop in Pine Tree Lodge soon and tell Mike, Sandy, and Norma Miller that Jim King of the TV and radio sent you. Tracy Lawrence is back with a fresh track off his 3rd album from the trilogy Hindsight 2020 Volume 3, Angelina. He delivers a clean shot of country heartache. The video, directed by Tristan Kusick, tells the story of a ballerina and cowboy who realized their lives are too different to make the relationship work, and came from Tracy's idea to bring 2 different worlds together to tell the story. Here comes His Highness Tracy Lawrence with Don't Drink Whiskey as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville.
If you've never snuck behind a barn to smoke a cigarette, if you've never had a breakup fight the whole town can't forget, if there ain't a list of things that you do differently, you probably don't drink whiskey. If you've never let some words fly out you wish you could take back, if you've never had to turn around on the road to where
If the path you're on ain't paved with inconsistent seams, you probably don't drink whiskey. And if you've never woke up on the wrong side of the bed, with a war wondering what went wrong going on inside your head, if you've never had your heart ripped apart, realized how lonely loneliness can be, you probably don't drink whiskey. If you've never stood out on her porch and begged for one more chance, or let the love of your life slip right through your hands, if you don't know the bitter taste that takes away the sweet, you probably don't drink whiskey. If you've never woke up on the wrong side of the bed, with a war wondering what went wrong going on inside your head, if you've never had your heart ripped apart and realized how lonely loneliness can be, you probably don't drink whiskey. And if you never had a love on the rocks and thought the cure was one more shot, 'cause you're fighting demons and no one else can see, you probably don't drink whiskey. And if you've never woke up on the wrong side of the bed, with a war wondering what went wrong going on inside your head, if you've never had your heart ripped apart and realized how lonely loneliness can be, you probably don't drink whiskey. You probably don't drink whiskey. Probably don't drink whiskey.
So let's get back to more music.
The legendary Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle, Texas has been owned and operated by the Miller family since 1984. And in 1990, Southeast Texan and country music superstar Mark Chestnut filmed his debut music video there.
Well, it sure feels good to come in here and just pull up a seat.
A generation later, his son Casey Chestnut.
Frosted mud of a cool one helps to beneath the heat.
My son, Casey Chestnut.
Since 1984, the Millers have kept it going with fabulous music, food, dancing, and scenery. Stopping there soon. Coming up next, Frank Martin Gilligan will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches.
King of the road.
It's time now for the Soggy Bottom Saloon events calendar. On Friday, March 4th, the Joey Ward Band will be at Soggy Bottom. And on Saturday, March 5th, the Larry Tillery Band will be live in concert. On Friday, March 11th, In a Dilemma returns to Soggy Bottom. And on Saturday, March 12th, the Crossroads Band will be there. Soggy Bottom Saloon also has karaoke with DJ Fire on Friday nights and DJ Short Boots on Saturday nights. And don't forget about the pool tournament every Monday at 8 p.m. and the poker tournament every Tuesday starting at 7 p.m. Book an evening in the VIP lounge with your friends. Soggy Bottom Saloon serves the coldest beer in Beaumont with $15 buckets all night on Thursdays. Soggy Bottom Saloon, Beaumont's oldest bar, still in operation. Soggy Bottom Saloon, 11325 Old Both Road in Beaumont, Texas. This has been the Soggy Bottom Saloon events calendar. The concerts are back at Seven Oaks Event Garden in LaBelle, Texas, and you can catch David Starr on Saturday, March 12th, and many more through November. Live music at Seven Oaks is sponsored in part by Acadian Pools of Orange, Texas. Seven Oaks Event Garden in LaBelle, Texas.
One of these days I'm gonna stop my dreaming. It'll be done whenever they all come true. All my planning, all of my scheming, it'll be over whenever I find you. One of these days I'm gonna find my treasure. It's gonna feel just like my ship's coming. I'm gonna love you, love you, love you without measure. Still I am waiting, wondering where you've been. I know you might be out there standing at the end of a bridge that I have burned. I ain't guessing, I ain't gambling, no, by leaving any stone unturned, yeah. One of these days I'm gonna wake up smiling. You're gonna be here lying right next to me. I know you're out there for the finding. It's gonna happen, baby, just wait and see. It's gonna happen, baby, yeah, you just wait and see.
Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas is celebrating 60 years in business. Where have you been? Bradley's Collision Center is an award-winning shop serving all of Southeast Texas since 1962. And it has been family-owned and operated by the Bradley family of Port Neches since the very beginning. Each and every one of their customers are treated like friends and family while receiving expert service. Bradley's Collision Center, 2639 Knoll Street in Port Neches, Texas. Call them at 722-9391. Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here.